Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, you don't know what it is that I do here. You don't know what you're watching right now. I am a love coach specifically for women who want to heal and reconcile after infidelity. You have been cheated on. Oh, wait, I lost my camera there. Hold on. Okay, what happened? There we go. All right. All right. Like I was saying, I am Love Coach Dasha, and I am a love coach specifically for women who want to stay and heal and reconcile after infidelity. I know it's a rough road. I know you're upset. You are hurt that you have been cheated on. But there is a way back. There is a way back from that pain, from that problem. And I'm here to show you the healing path. How do you get from hurt and betrayed and angry and completely shattered to happily in love again, trusting, open, feeling good about the relationship? I know the path and I'm here to teach it to you, okay? So, first and foremost, if you want to get a copy of the Dreams Formula, which is the healing path that I am going to be talking to you about, go ahead and put the words path in the comments, and I've got you. I will send you a link to get you the copy of the Dreams Formula because it's just a simple 6 steps. If you are still with the person that you love and you want to work forward and be together, you want the relationship to work out, you need this guy. Okay. All right. So this is our last time together before the end of the year. I'm going to take off the next 2 weeks. I'm going to take off on Christmas and for New Year's Eve too. So I'm excited about that. A little bit of time off. But right now, we are going to talk about the things that we always talk about. And I'm going to give you a little bit about making that decision to stay and reconcile. I know that's a very, very hard decision to make. We're going to touch on that a little bit tonight, okay? All right, first and foremost, the things that I always teach you to do every single time we get together, they're called the practices. These are the things that I'm going to tell my clients, the people that work with me one on one, that are here with me every day, hearing from me. These are the things that I'm going to tell them to do to start to get to a place where their nervous system is a little bit more regulated. They're able to calm themselves. They're able to think things through a little bit better just by using these tactics. Okay. So these are the practices. If you would like a copy of the practices in the comment, and I will send you a link for that too. So the first of the practices that we're always going to talk about every time we get together is doing your deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? I need you to jump on that. If you have not been doing that, you need to jump on that. Hey there, David Antoine. You're number one. I'm glad that you're here with me. We are talking about healing and reconciling after infidelity. So I'm glad you're here with me. But the first thing that you're going to need to do to be able to calm yourself, to center yourself, to get yourself into a better place for you to be able to heal and reconcile is to do your deep breathing. Your deep breathing is key to this trauma. This is a trauma that has happened to you. Don't take it as anything other than that. It is a trauma that this happened to you. Hi, Benny. It is a trauma that has happened to you. So you have to start treating it like a trauma if you want to get past it. So the first thing that we're going to do is do our deep breathing because when we are freaked out, when we are anxious, when we are fight or flight, our breathing is actually different. So if we flip it around and do the exact opposite breathing, then I'm freaked out, we can get back in control of our bodies. We can convince our brains that we're actually safe, everything is fine, and we are okay. So what we do is 4-7-8 breathing. Now you can do whatever breathing technique you please as long as you're doing it, okay? But what we do is 4-7-8 breathing. What we're gonna do is blow out. You're gonna blow out and you're gonna make the noise because we are creating a signal in our brain. We're creating a trigger that, oh, every time we do that blow, that sound of blowing out, that means I'm about to calm myself down. All right. Then we're gonna inhale for a count of 4. We're going to hold that breath for a count of 7, and then we're going to blow out like we're blowing out birthday candles for a count of 8. Now, when you do this, you're going to be doing this 5 times a day, 5 times in a row, 5 times a day as you are trying to heal from this. Set an alarm, put it in your phone that different times during the day, you're going to sit down and do your deep breathing. It is less than a minute to do it 5 times in a row. Is less than a minute. You don't have any excuses. Do your deep breathing. Okay. But we're going to do it together. We're going to just do it for 3 times in a row just to get a feel for it, just to do it together a little bit. All right. For the sake of time. So, first things first, you're going to blow out. Make that noise. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. How do you feel when you do your deep breathing? How does it change what is going on in your body? Because you have been through trauma, if you do your deep breathing, it should feel different inside your body when you do it. All right. And Lennox, I'm sorry, I can't help with math. I might look like a teacher, but I'm not. All right. Now, doing your deep breathing should change how your body is feeling. It should make you feel a little bit more lightheaded. It should make you feel a little sharper. Should make you yawn. There are some physical changes that are going to happen in your body when you are doing your deep breathing. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to how it soothes you, how it unclenches something in you, and then use it as a practice every day, 5 times, 5 times a day. Okay? Second thing that I'm always going to tell you every time we get together, do your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? If you have not been doing your journaling, you are doing yourself a disservice. This is a trauma. You are healing from infidelity. It is a trauma. It is something that hurts you very deeply. We need to write about it a little bit. We need to get the thoughts out of our head and down onto paper, okay? This is my personal journal at the moment. I am tearing up pages in this bad boy this month, this last month or so. If you are doing your journaling on a regular basis, it is not only getting the thoughts out of your head, it is teaching you where the problems are. You will be able to find patterns in the things that you write if you are writing consistently. Now, I always want you to start with just twice a day, 5 minutes, first thing in the morning when you wake up, and then right before you get ready to go to bed. If you do this consistently, what will happen is you will have a whole bunch of data to tell you, hey, this is what's going on inside my head. This is what's going on inside my heart. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm thinking. These are the repeating thoughts. These are the things that I got to deal with. You will know so much information just by being consistent about writing things down. Okay. When you're doing your journal, you need to do your date, your time, your level of anxiety. Okay, those 3 things need to go on every single solitary entry. First thing when you start writing, and then at the end, put your level of anxiety when you're finished. You are going to show yourself that just writing in this journal helps you. You're going to see if you started off at a 7 in your anxiety out of 10, you come down to about a 5 after you write. It will show you in real time that doing your journaling helps you in the moment to calm down, to center, to regulate yourself again. Okay. Your date and your time, those are to help you to find the patterns. If you know what the date and time is of things that are happening, if 9:15 every Thursday evening, you know you're having a moment and you need some help, you come watch the Healing Hour live. All right. You come see Love Coach Dasha. All right. You will know what to do because you will know that the trigger is coming. Okay. All right, your level of anxiety. Remember, this is 0 to 10. So we are going to try and put a fence around these feelings. We need to get a grip on how big they actually are because our brains will tell us that these feelings are big enough to eat us, and they are not. So 0. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. Everything is great. All is right with the world. Write that down. You need to know that because in the traumatized state, your brain will tell you that nope, everything is always bad. Everything is always wrong. You never have any good days. You just had an awful, rotten life continuously from beginning to end. You will be able to prove that wrong if you have a whole bunch of 0 days in your journal. You'll be like, no, I have pretty good days. I have days where this is not bothering me. I am at ease. No, I do not have a bad life. You can start to fight those negative thoughts that the trauma brings about. A 10. A 10 is an absolute loss of control. A 10 is I'm going to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked. Okay. It is a loss of control of yourself. You can't get a grip. Okay. If you are at a 10, you are not sitting down writing in your journal though. So take that with the grain of salt. Be like, okay, am I really at a 10 right now while you got your pen in your hand about to write in your journal? Is that really a 10? Probably not, right? Probably you're about a 9 or maybe even an 8. And it's not as bad as you thought it was because you were able to get control of yourself enough to be able to write. You can even write that down. Be like, I thought I was at a 10, but I picked up my journal and I started writing. So I must have been in control of myself enough to do that. So it must not have been as bad as I felt like it was. And look, I got control of myself and I was able to write in my journal and I was able to think it through and remember to write in my journal. All sorts of good things happen when you write in your journal. Okay. Now, 0 to 10, write that down, make sure you're paying attention. And then at the end, when you finish journaling, write what the level is after that so that you can tell this did work. This did calm me down a little bit. This did make me feel a little bit better. And it's excellent to know that there are things that can make you feel better after infidelity. There's tons of things that will help, but it doesn't seem like it in the moment. You feel like nothing will actually do anything. So if you actually write these things down, write these thoughts that come to the top of your head, you will see that it does help you to write them down. All right. Got any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints? Put them in the comments. I got you. Okay. I cannot help with math homework. However, I can indeed help with healing and reconciling after infidelity. Okay. So the third of the practices that I'm going to tell you about is to get an attitude of gratitude. You have to remember the good things in your life. Your brain on trauma will tell you that nothing is good. Everything has always been rotten. You are rotten. Everything around you is terrible. If you listen to that, you're not going to heal. You're going to constantly be opening up that wound, tearing it open, putting your fingers inside, salting it down. It's not going to feel good. You're not going to heal like that. You're dealing with grief. That's what this is. If you have been cheated on, you are dealing with the grief over the relationship you thought you had, dealing with grief over who you thought this person was, what you thought the relationship was. There are a lot of elements of grief to that. And that's the experience of loss. So if you are experiencing a loss, the best way to combat that is to remind yourself of the things that you are really, really grateful for. The things that you're like, I'm so glad that those things exist in the world because it makes my life better because they exist. All right. Your cell phone, the internet, this lip gloss. This lip gloss is popping. All right. All sorts of good little things are in your life. And if you are focused on intentionally thinking about them, writing them down in your journal at least once a day, you are training your brain. It's neuroplasticity. Your brain will adapt to what you're doing. So if every single solitary day you wake up and you write down 5 things in your journal that you are grateful for, your brain, when you wake up, will be like, hey, I know I got a few things that we're grateful for. Let me help out with the list. It will assist you in finding those things. So you are going to transform that grief into gratitude, that loss into what you do have, and it will change the way your brain is functioning after this type of trauma. Okay. Last of the practices we're going to talk about right now is I need you to stop with all the questions. I know you want to ask the questions. I know that your brain is screaming at you right now to ask the questions, isn't it? It wants to know every detail. It says that I can only heal if I know all of the details, if I know every single solitary thing that happened, every thought that went through your brain, every single thing you did wrong, then I will be protected. Then I'll be all right. All right. That is still looking for your own protection outside of yourself. That's not where it's found. Okay. Your protection of yourself is in you. You trying to find out all of this information, all of these terrible details, it's just going to cause you more grief. It's going to stress you out. That's what you're going to be thinking about is, oh, well, I asked him this question. And did he answer this question correctly? Because I remember he answered a little bit differently the last time I asked him this question. This is the 5th time I've asked him this question, but I need to make sure that he's not lying by asking him over and over again. It's too much. Okay. It's just too much. You are doing too much to your brain. Cut it out. All right. I understand that it is a trauma response. Your brain wants to know the answers to these questions. However, that is a trauma response that we need to resist. If your brain is saying that I need to know every detail about this in order to be able to heal, first of all, it's lying. Second of all, it is just trying to gather as much information on a threat as it possibly can. That's all it's doing. It's the same thing as if you see a spider crawling above your bed at night. Your body immediately goes to, where did that spider come from? Where is it going? Where did it come from? Does it have babies? You want to know all the details about the spider. You are treating your mate like the spider. You're treating them like something you need to be afraid of, something you need all the information about. And if you don't get it, you can't be safe. That's not going to be good for your relationship going forward. It's just not going to work. So if you are consistently asking those questions, not stopping that trauma response, not questioning it, not saying, no, this is not a person that I don't trust. This is not a person that I don't believe in. I do believe in this person. I do want to be close to them. If you're not fighting against that, it is digging a rut deeper and deeper into your brain that says, this person cannot be trusted. This person is a threat to me. That's not what you want, right? That's not what you want. I know it's not what you want. You don't want to feel like that about the person who's closest to you in the world. So you've got to stop it. You've got to stop asking the questions, and the sooner the better. If this just happened to you, if you just now have experienced D-Day, just now finding out about the cheating, whatever questions you have asked thus far, that's enough. You have enough detail to be able to heal. You do not need all the detail to be able to heal. That is unnecessary. That is not part of the healing process. It's not part of the path. You don't need to know all of those details to be able to heal. What you do need to do is be able to let go. And if you start to ask the questions right off the bat, you're not going to be able to let go easily. Okay. If this is months later, this is years later, you're still asking the questions, I need you to just put a halt to that. I need you to stop. There is nothing more that you can glean from asking him questions about this affair. You have to decide to heal now. Yes, I know he doesn't answer the questions right. Yes, I know it sounds like he's lying. I get it, but it's not helping you to continue to ask. So that's what I'm going to ask you to do, is to stop asking all those questions. Okay? Just stop. Just let it go. Do not do it. You have enough information. If you later on have done some healing. You are gone down the healing path a little bit. You're feeling a little bit more certain about things. You have made your decision. You're feeling good about the decision that you made. You may be able to ask some questions a little later. But a lot of the time, the clarity that comes with the healing, with understanding, with separating yourself away a little bit from this trauma, a lot of the time you understand things better just on general purpose, just because you've healed. So you don't need to go outside yourself to ask all these questions to heal yourself. The healing's in you. The healing is not in him. It's not in any answer that he can give you. It is inside you. That is the path. Okay. So asking all those questions is just going to hurt you. However, I do understand that it is a trauma reaction and it is a itch in your brain. It makes your brain want to ask questions all the time. So instead of those questions, the ones that your brain is popping off with, try these. This is the and, THEAND, the and. Comes from the good people at the Skin Deep. This is the healing edition. They have long-term couples edition. I have that too. They have parents and children, lots of different decks that will give you questions that you can ask that are not destructive questions, that are not thinking, oh, this person is the perpetrator, this is the threat. Not asking questions like that, but asking questions that actually foster some connection. Okay. So let's see. Give you a couple of these. First one says, what's the hardest thing for you about our relationship? Might not have a thing to do with the cheating. Might not have anything to do with that at all. All right. What's the hardest thing for you about our relationship? That's going to scratch that itch. You're going to be able to ask a question. It's going to be telling you about the relationship that the two of you have, but it is not about the cheating. It is not about the pain. It is about something that will maybe bring you a little closer, get you connected. Okay. Second one says, what do you believe you have healed in me? Oh, wouldn't you like to know that? Wouldn't that be a better question to ask than what position did you have her in? I think that you would appreciate that a whole lot better. So, what do you believe you have healed in me? Because I know he broke some things. I know he did, but you wouldn't love him if he didn't heal something. If something wasn't healed, something wasn't lifted, if some pain, some trauma wasn't healed, you probably wouldn't like him anyway. All right. There is something about him that heals something in you. Yes, he broke something, but what did he heal? All right. And one more. What's one experience you wish we shared, but we didn't? And why? Oh, that's a good question. There's probably plenty of things that he experienced in his life and he was like, man, this would have been so much better with my boo. And he didn't even know you yet. But then he finally met you and he had you for those things. But I'm sure there's some things that he's like, I wish we had been able to share that experience together. So that's a good question to ask. It's not all about pain and suffering. You want the connection, not the suffering. Okay? What's one experience you wish we shared, but we didn't, and why? Okay? Why do you want you to share that particular experience? Do you think you would enjoy that? Do you think that his enjoyment would be better of it with you? What was going on that made him want you to be there in that past memory? All right. All right. Don't see any questions so far. Hey, Deborah. I see you over there, girl. Hey. All right. So those are the beginning of the practices. The things that you need to do, you need to be doing on a consistent basis that is going to help you to heal and reconcile after infidelity. I know it is troublesome to have to do such a thing. It feels very unfair that you would even have to try to heal and reconcile because, damn it, he shouldn't have done this. But you making that decision is a very important thing. You are not wrong for your decision. You're not wrong for wanting to stay. You're not wrong for trying to work it out. You're not wrong for reconciliation. You're not wrong for loving him still. I know plenty of people will tell you that you are. People will try and give you a hard time about it. Oh, you're being such a pick me. You're being a doormat. He'll never treat you right. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know that's the things that you hear, but I am here to tell you if this is the person for you, if this is the person that you are like, I was going to forgive them anyway. I was going to spend my entire lifetime with them, loving them, forgiving them, expecting forgiveness from them. I was planning on that anyhow. If that is your person, there's nothing wrong with you staying. Even if other people think that it's the wrong decision, they have nothing to do with it. Tell them to shut up, right? You get to make this decision, nobody else. If this is the person for you, I knew my husband was a person for me the very first time I heard his voice. I didn't actually talk to him yet. I heard his voice because we were on one of the chat lines. This is way back in the day. We were on a chat line. You call in the number, you record a message, and then you listen to everybody else's messages as they're getting around to listening to yours. There was options to talk one-on-one on the line, and I heard his voice and it shook my world. I was like, ooh, yes, him. Okay. And then I talked to him and the whole world shifted. The whole world shifted on its axis when I met him, when we had our first conversation. I knew he was the person for me. I had never been that sure of anybody else in my entire life. I didn't even expect to get married. I wasn't even the type. I didn't think I was the type to get married. I was like, I'm never getting married. I'm never going to be with somebody for the rest of my life. But this one person changed all that. So if you got that person who changed all that for you, who you're like, you know what, I would forgive them till the ends of time. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you found that type of love, that's called unconditional love. Okay. That's what that's called. If you found that, that is an excellent thing. I'm so, so happy for you. And I'm so happy that you recognize that that's what you have and you're not willing to let it go. Girl, hold on to it. Cling. Do not let it go. You do not have to. This decision is an important one for your life. I'm glad I made that decision. We are like 18 years later now. Last month was like 18 years. 18 years after the infidelities, okay? Not one, many. But we got past it. We have been living a really good, happy, trusting life besides that happening at the very beginning. So you can do this. There's nothing wrong with it. I know everybody else will tell you that there is, but I am here to tell you that they're wrong. I am here to tell you that if you believe that this person is worth it, you're right. Okay? That you are right. All right? So don't doubt yourself. That's the first thing. So that is what I want to talk a little bit about with you is making that decision to heal and reconcile. So if you've got questions, comments, thoughts, complaints about that, you go ahead and let me know. Put it in the comment. But the that's what comes up with almost everyone I work with. It's that decision whether you're going to stay in the heal or and like commit to the healing instead of living in limbo, in pain, in suffering. You can stay and just suffer through it. You can absolutely do that. But I am here to say, I don't want you to do that. I want your love story to come through and show you a happy ending. I don't feel like you should have to keep on suffering for life just because this trauma happened to you. You can heal from it, you can move on from it. Okay. Most women aren't stuck because they're weak. They're stuck because their nervous system doesn't feel safe enough to decide this yet. Your nervous system is alarming. It is squaring off with you and like, yo, this was a terrible thing that happened. We feel awful inside. We are scared. We are anxious. We are angry. I don't think we can make the decision to go ahead and work this out. All you need to do is calm down your nervous system, shut it on up, and then you can move on with your happy ending. Okay. So let's get this out of the way for right now. The decision that you're making is not, am I staying forever? That's not what we're asking here. I'm not asking you to make such a decision when you are in a fully traumatized state and stressed and angry and sad. That is a bad time to make a decision like that. But you also know that you love this person, you don't want to go anywhere. So you can start to lean towards that decision, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be forever. Okay. Am I forgiving everything? You don't necessarily have to forgive everything. You don't have to forgive everything right this minute. You don't have to do that. And worst yet, am I, by saying that what happened was okay? Am I giving you the green light to go ahead and cheat on me again? Oh, those are the things, right? Those are the things that make making this decision so difficult because you feel like you are going to be trapped. I don't want you to be trapped. I am not one for women having no choices. I want you to have all the choices. You have them all right now. You're not painted into a corner. You don't have to stay forever if you don't want to. If you want to stay, you want to try and work it out, and something else happens down the line and you end up not being together, that's fine. That doesn't mean that you failed at healing and reconciling. It doesn't mean that. It just means that something else came along and this story ended the way that it ended. Forgiving everything is difficult. It makes you feel like, oh, I'm being a doormat, I'm being walked all over to forgive everything. The only reason I want you to forgive everything is just to leave it behind, leave that baggage on the sidewalk and walk away from it so you don't have to carry it forever. But you don't have to forgive everything right now. Okay. And then are you saying that it's okay? No, that's not what you're saying at all. People always say that to me, and it's the same phrase too. If I forgive him, I'm giving him the green light to cheat on me again. Same exact phrase, because the fear speech is universal. The fear of that pain is universal in all people if this has happened to you. So everybody has that same exact thought. If I forgive this, am I giving them the green light to go ahead and do this to me again? You are not. Matter of fact, just to let you know, most people have never actually been like really forgiven. They did something horrible, and the person that they wronged, like, really honestly forgave them, let it go, let it be in the past, reconcile with them, started to move forward, and let that be in the past, let that be a past chapter. That usually doesn't happen. Most people have never even experienced that. So if you actually do this, if you forgive this person that you love so much, you are showing them something they have never seen before, and they're going to be so impressed by it, they're not going to want to cheat on you again. They're not going to want to hurt you again after you did something so spectacular this time. Okay? So it is not a green light to cheat on you again by forgiving. You are showing that you are that chick. You are showing you are one of the baddest. You are amazing. And I should probably make sure that I keep you happy from now on. All right. That is where you're going to be if you forget. Okay. The decision you're making is just, am I choosing to heal on purpose? Because the pain will try and drag you down. It'll keep on saying that, no, you have every right to be hurt. You have every right to continue to be hurt. Yeah, you do. You absolutely do. But are you healing on purpose in spite of that? Knowing that you have that choice, you could just sit in the misery. You could unpack and live there if you so chose. However, you could also choose to heal on purpose, actually doing the work of a person who is healed, not doing the actions of a person who is hurting, doing the actions of a person who is healing. That is healing on purpose, doing the actions of a person who has healed from this, who has let this be in the past. If you do the actions of that person, you'll heal, and you will heal on purpose. Right now, a lot of women are staying physically but not healing emotionally. And that is terrible for you. That is so much suffering. And it's going to be suffering if you have children, for you to stay and you're like, well, I'm staying for the children, but you're miserable. You're not doing anything for the children. The children are not helped by that at all. The children would much rather you be happy. They would happily let you go ahead and go your separate ways if it would make you happy. So if you're going to stay, you got to be going for happy. You got to show them that this is actually worth the effort. It's worth the forgiveness, that you can get past the pain and back to happy again. It does not mean you have to live in misery forever. That's the lesson that you need to be teaching them, not, oh, I'm just going to stay so that my kids have both parents in the same house, although I'm completely miserable about it. It's not helping them at all. Okay. You don't have to decide on forever. You only have to decide not to keep bleeding. That's all. That's all you have to decide right now, is not to keep bleeding, not to keep suffering, letting your life force flow out everywhere because this painful thing has happened to you. So, what actually like blocks the decision? Like, what blocks you from making that decision? First thing, always fear of being wrong. That's why I always make sure to tell you that you're not wrong. Okay. That's why I make sure that is something that I tell you on a regular basis. You're not wrong for wanting to stay, for wanting to work it out. Okay. One of the biggest blocks is fear. Like, what if I make the wrong decision? What if it's the wrong decision for me to stay? You will be able to figure that out as you're healing. It will be much, much more clear to you as you're healing. Did I make the right decision? And that does not mean that you're stuck. You can leave. If you find out after you've done a little bit of healing, it's down the road a little bit, you got a little bit of 2020 hindsight, you can figure out if you really want to stay or want to go. That, I remember I told you, you're not making this decision forever. You were just making this decision to try and heal now. That's what we're working on. Not deciding is still a decision. If you don't decide to heal, if you don't decide to intentionally heal, that is still a decision, and it's probably the wrong decision. The fear of being wrong is going to make you be wrong. So you've got to start letting go of that fear and just choosing what you want. Staying stuck, constantly triggered, constantly scanning for danger, that's not like neutral. Okay. That's choosing the pain by default. You're saying that the pain is worth more to you than the healing. Your trauma keeps asking you for certainty, but healing doesn't require certainty. Healing just requires commitment. Your pain, your suffering, your fear speech, things that are going on in your head are all saying that you have to be absolutely certain about this. And you don't have to be. You just have to lean 51% to 49%. 51% I want to stay and I want to work it out. To 49% I want to leave and I want to let it go. That's all you need, is like that 2%. Okay. Just that little nudge over into, I am making the decision to heal, and then follow that decision. Do the healing things. Then you get a little further down the path and you can make your mind up a little bit more clearly, because you will be clearer. You will be healing. Your brain won't be so noisy and cluttered. You won't be having those physical reactions so much that are so distracting, and you can make an informed decision after you start to heal a little bit better. All right. Let's see, what else I got here. The second thing that kind of stops you from making the decision is that trauma makes everything feel urgent. It makes everything feel urgent, but it's all unclear at the same time. You'll hear things like, I really love him, but I hate him so much. Okay. I really want to be at peace, but I don't trust peace. We were at peace when he did this. I don't trust peace. I forgive him, but I am still absolutely furious with him. Okay, that's what trauma does inside your brain. It gives you completely conflicting messages, making you feel very urgent about things, but very unclear about things at the same time. So that doesn't mean that you're failing. Okay, that's not what that means. It is tricky, it is annoying, but it doesn't mean that you're failing. It just means that your nervous system is still a little dysregulated. You haven't calmed back down yet. Your blood pressure will go up, your pulse will go up, your heart will start beating out of your chest just randomly. We've got to start regulating that system, getting it calmer. Okay. Um, you can't think your way to safety. All right. That is not how this works. You can't think your way into feeling safe. You have to regulate your way into that clarity, and then you feel safe. Um, right now, after a trauma, you're trying so hard to think good thoughts, but your body is screaming that you're in danger. So that is a really difficult thing to do. We got to start with the body. We got to pay attention to this vessel as it is telling us messages about what's going on in our surroundings. That's why the deep breathing is so important. It is you communicating with your body, telling your body, hey, 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 I hear you. I understand that you're scared. I understand that you are freaked out. However, I am in control. I understand that a scary thing is happening right now, and I am helping to make us safe. That is how that works. That is how your brain starts to view you doing your deep breathing on a regular basis. Okay. Another thing that stops you from making the decision, this was the one that was stopping me the most. Waiting for him to change. He's got to change first. He's got to change first. This is a big one, right? A lot of women say, I'll decide once he proves that I should be with him. Okay. But your healing is not dependent on his behavior. You'll stay trapped because his good behavior is not going to help you feel safe. That it will do nothing. There are tons of women who tell me all the time, he's doing all the right things. That's the quote. That is the thing that I always hear. He's doing all the right things, but I still don't trust him because you have to heal from the inside out. He cannot hand you trust. He cannot hand you healing. No matter how good his behavior is, he can't make you feel safe in this time period. So you've got to make that choice. You've got to decide. Healing doesn't mean that you're ignoring what he did. That's not what that is. It means that you are stopping your body from living in emergency mode all the time now that this has happened. Your body will continue to do this for years if you let it. Your body and your brain will keep on saying, oh, I'm still in danger years down the line. Even if you left him, it will still make the same claim to the next person that you're with, because something about them will remind you of him. And now I feel unsafe again. You cannot continue on down this path until you start to address feeling safe within yourself, making yourself safe. Let's see. Healing doesn't like excuse what he did. People seem to think that that's what it means. That if you heal, then it's totally excused that he cheated on me. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are not even living like that. No, that's not what that means. It just means that this pain doesn't control you anymore. That is what we're going for. Healing means that the pain is not a living monster sucking off you every day. It is not controlling your thoughts. It is not controlling your body anymore. You are able to move forward and towards the goals that you want without this fearful, shaky, anxious, fearful, angry feeling always coming over you. Okay. The fourth thing that stops women from staying a lot of the time is that women feel ashamed for staying. And that was the big one for me, because I don't like it when people try and make me feel ashamed of something. That just irritates me, because I'm like, if I'm making the choice, you can't shame me for my choice. This is something I want. So if you don't agree, that's fine, but keep your comments to yourself. So that was a huge one for me. That was the one that I really, really fought through, the stigma of staying and healing and reconciling, because everybody was trying to shame me. I could never forgive that. I would leave his ass immediately. I think that you're so weak if you stay. All right, that's a huge one. But you didn't choose this betrayal. You didn't choose this. You didn't do anything wrong. You don't owe anybody your timeline. If you are deciding that this is what you want to do, don't let them shame you for your choice about your life. They don't know your life. They don't know your struggle. They don't know the love that you have. They don't know anything except for what they're seeing on the outside. So they can try and make you feel shamed about it, but you have to accept that in order to feel the shame. You have to actually take it within you and say, yes, I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have made the choice that I made. And no, no, we do not want to start doing that because we are strong and we can make good choices even when we're in pain. Staying is not weak. It's not a weak thing to do the work of healing yourself and healing your relationship. That's not a weak thing to do. That's a strong thing to do. Staying unhealed is what hurts you. Staying unhealed is what will make you suffer and make you be less than the person that you are supposed to be. You don't have to stay unhealed and in pain just because other people would shame you for trying to heal. No, you don't have to do that. You're not wrong for trying to stay and heal yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. You're doing exactly what you should do. Another thing, one last thing that will stop you a lot of the time from deciding to heal is that forgiveness isn't a switch. It's not just, and it's all better. It's not the same thing. Healing is not a moment. It's not like, oh, look, it's all fixed now. One moment to the next, I am totally healed. Everything is all better. Not like that. And the decision is not a feeling. The decision is a daily choice to stop letting the trauma drive. Okay? You can't let that little trauma monster living inside your head drive the car. He will crash it. Okay? You cannot let the trauma monster drive anymore. We have got to wrestle back control of the car and be able to drive the car ourselves. Okay? You don't wait to feel healed to choose healing. That's not the way that it works. You choose healing, and then those feelings catch up to you. That is how that works. You don't, if you wait around to feel like you are healed without doing healing, you're just going to be waiting around forever. You'll never feel like that. You will never feel like you can get to healed because you're not doing anything to get to healed. Does that make sense? Put it in the comments if that sounds crazy to you. You're like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Let me know if I can explain it a little bit better. Okay? All right. So, all that being said, this is why I came up with the Big D challenge. All right. The big decision. That's what the D stands for. It's not to stay forever, not to forgive instantaneously, but it's to stop living in this emotional free fall that you have been in after this painful thing has happened to you. You have been cheated on. You get to make the decisions now. You get to choose what path you are going to be on from now on. So, in the Big D challenge, we're going to work on regulating your nervous system. Some simple things that you can do, some breathing, some somatic exercises, some things that you can do to actually regulate your system so that you are back in control of your body instead of your body being in control of you. Okay. We're going to understand our fears versus our intuition. You have intuition, but right now the fear is screaming over the intuition. Your intuition is quieter. Your intuition doesn't make you feel sick. Your intuition is a soft, quiet knowing. It is I know, not I fear, not that clenching of I'm afraid of this thing. It is knowing when it's your intuition. So if you can figure out what the difference is between the two of those, you're gonna feel better. You're gonna feel like, okay, it is just my fear messing with me. It's not my intuition telling me that this relationship will never work. That's not what it is. It's just fear. Okay. Identifying the path that you're actually on right now. What are you planning on doing? Are you staying just to be miserable? Or are you staying so you can heal and be happy again? And learning how to stop re-traumatizing yourself all the time. As you are dealing with this trauma of infidelity, the more you go over it, the more you rehash it, the more you talk about it, the more you're traumatizing yourself. Okay? If you are consistently talking about, people always say they want to vent. I get venting, I get that, but it doesn't make the feeling go away. I heard a TikTok the other day. Somebody said, well, okay, if you talk about loving somebody, does that make the love go down? Does that make it go less if you talk about it? Or does it make you feel it more when you talk about how much you love somebody? It's the same thing with the venting about being cheated on. The more you're talking about it, the more you're going to feel the feelings. Okay. We've got to figure out how to stop re traumatizing ourselves over and over again so that we can actually start to heal from this. This challenge, the Big D challenge, is for the women. Wait. I lost my place. This is for the women who are saying, I'm staying, but I can't keep living like this. I cannot stay and keep feeling the way that I'm feeling. I am sick all the time. My head aches, my body aches, my stomach is upset. I can't think. I can't even deal with day to day. I am staying, but I can't keep staying like this. That is who this is for. If you need to make this decision and get to a better place with that decision, this challenge is for you. The Big D challenge isn't about your marriage. It's not about your relationship. It's about choosing yourself inside the relationship, inside the marriage. You are the important thing here. You get to make these decisions about your life going forward. This painful thing has happened to you, absolutely. Now you get to make decisions about what happens next. Trauma is like that. Trauma will kind of drop out of the sky on you, but you get to decide what you do about the trauma once it's happened to you. Don't paint yourself in any corners feeling like you only have one choice and that's to leave. That's not the case. You have every choice that you want to make, and then you decide from there which one you're gonna choose, and then go on that path. I'm gonna drop the. Let's see, where is it? I'm gonna drop the link for the Big D challenge into the comments. Now, all you need to do is put your first name and your email address in, and very shortly thereafter, you will get an email from me telling you about the Big D challenge. All right. Let me see. Put it in Love After Cheating. I am putting it in Love Coach Dasha page right now. And as it refreshes, there we go. Go. And I'm going to put it on the YouTube channel too. So all you need to do is just a little simple type form. All you need to do is go to this form, go on ahead and put your first name, your email address in, and you are going to get help for making this decision. You're going to get help for feeling better, for making it feel like you're not doing the wrong thing. Because you're going to sign up for this. There are going to be plenty of other women that are right here with you making the exact same decision that you are. You're going to realize, oh, plenty of people do this. This is not just me. I'm not just some stupid, crazy woman. There are plenty of women who are out here trying to heal from the same thing. This is probably, goodness, this is like the fourth year I have been doing the Big D challenge. I think it's the fourth year. And I'm telling you, it is excellent every time. When we are making these decisions and we're making them together, it doesn't feel like you're just alone making some crazy decision. It makes it feel like, oh, this is a real thing that I can do, that other women are doing and are successful at. And it doesn't make you feel bad about it, okay? So, where is my YouTube. There we go. All right. So it is on all of the above. You all go ahead, sign up for the Big D challenge because it's going to be fun. We're going to start in January 19th. So you have something that you can start off the year with. If you have been struggling with this decision, you wasn't sure about it, it felt weird, you didn't know what you were going to do, go ahead and sign up for the challenge and then work with me all through the month of January. You'll be getting tons and tons of information about making the decision. And then the week of the challenge, you're going to get so much from me. And we are going to talk about you making this decision, the things that you're afraid of, the things that you feel like are unfair about having to make this decision, all of that. We're going to discuss it all. I'm going to give you solid things that you can do that will help you feel like I'm making a good choice here. All right. So, all right. I think that, okay, it's on everybody's. Go ahead. Make sure you sign up for the Big D challenge. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I love doing these challenges. I do like 3 challenges a year. When we do these challenges, women all come together. We all talk about these things that are wounds within us, this trauma that we're trying to heal. When we sit here and we talk about it together, we share it and it divides it up so that it's not so much just on you. You say things and then other women are like, exactly, that's exactly how I feel. And it is a beautiful community of trauma being healed. So I definitely want that for you. Okay. As we're closing out 2025, I want you to hear that you are not behind, you are not broken, and you are not failing because this is a hard thing to do. Trauma is hard to heal. That does not mean that you are failing. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is say, I'm done surviving. I am ready to heal. I am ready to thrive. Um, the 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 trauma of infidelity will make you feel like you just have to survive moment to moment from now on. You can never trust again. The relationship will never be healed. You'll never be healed. But that's all lies. That is just stuff that the trauma and the fear is saying inside your head to make you believe that you don't have any power here, and you do. You don't need to have a perfect answer. You just need a regulated body, supported heart, and the decision that you want to make. That's all you need. This relationship can make it just off the decision that you are making. Okay. So that's about it. So we'll be back on January 8th. Okay. I'm not going to be here next week or the week after. I'm actually taking vacation on a holiday. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. I've never done such a thing before, but I am gonna do it. I have been super busy trying to get ready for Christmas this week, so I see it's not gonna get less busy as we're approaching Christmas and approaching the New Year. Um, but if you don't want to feel like you're stuck this holiday season, if you want to go into January, into this new year, feeling like you got some forward momentum, you have got a plan, you are going to make good decisions for yourself, I encourage you to go ahead and sign up for the Big D Challenge. That is the next step in order to get from hurting to healed in 2026. Go ahead and sign up for the Big D Challenge. Make that decision to heal intentionally with us for an entire week of challenges. Okay? All right. Got all of that for you. So, one more thing before I go. The last of the practices. Now, if you were listening earlier, you heard that you need to do your deep breathing, you need to do your journaling, you need to get your gratitude practice together, and you need to stop asking all the questions. The last thing that you need to do, that you are going to need to do on a regular basis, is give yourself affirmations. Now, this is something you need to hear, and I need you to look at me. Let me hold your hand when I say this. Whatever you say about yourself is an affirmation. whether it be good or bad. Okay? If you keep on saying, I'm so stupid and I'm so dumb and I can't believe that I'm staying here for this, if you keep saying that, that's what your brain will believe about you. Okay? You got to stop that. Whatever it is that you say about yourself is an affirmation. So it can be a horrible thing that you're saying about yourself, but you're affirming it. You are repeating it over and over again. You are telling your brain that that's the message that you want to believe. So that's the message your brain will believe. So we've got to make it intentional to say positive things about ourselves, not the negative, not the things that the trauma wants to say about us, because trauma thinks that we're terrible. Trauma thinks we're so stupid. Trauma thinks that we can't even help ourselves. We're always going to be hurt. That's what trauma thinks. So we've got to decide we are not going to focus on the negative about this situation. We're going to focus on good things about ourselves and continuously say those things to ourselves so that we can get to a better state of mind after this trauma. Okay. Your brain is part of your body. Just so you know, your brain and your body are connected. It's all the same thing. It is all body. Okay. If you are not telling your brain what to do, you are letting your body just do the autopilot thing that it does when it's triggered, when it has trauma. And that is not good for a relationship. It has not ever helped to be in a relationship when you're in fight or flight. Okay. That's just not, it's not even reasonable. So we've got to get control over these bodies one step at a time to let these bodies know that we are in control and we are safe and we are making good choices for ourselves. Okay. So give you a affirmation if you need affirmation specifically for healing and reconciling after infidelity. Put affirmation in the comments and I got you. I will send you the link for my 60 days of affirmations. Okay. All right, let's see. Today I move forward. Today I see each obstacle as an opportunity to grow and learn. Ooh, yes, because it is. Okay. All the bad things are not necessarily bad things, they're just lessons. They're just things to teach you something, to show you something. What I found out from this infidelity, oh, so many lessons, so many things that I learned. But I learned that I was correct about the love that I had, and I was correct about the person that I had it for. Just finding that out was a wonderful, beautiful lesson to learn because I doubted myself tremendously, especially when this first happened. I had doubted myself, I had insecurities before then, but then once this happened, I just felt terrible about myself and I had all of these doubts and insecurities and feeling like I might be wrong, I might be doing the wrong thing. Come to find out, I wasn't wrong. And I'm going to tell you the same thing too. You're not wrong. Okay. So today I move forward. Today I see each obstacle as an opportunity to learn and grow. Okay. So that's about it. Now remember all the practices. Do your deep breathing, do your journaling, do your gratitude practice. Stop asking all those questions and do your affirmations. But more than anything, I need you to not do what the fear and the pain tell you to do. They will scream at you to do certain things. I need you to scream back that you are not, okay? Resist the urge. The path to healing is not obtained by you doing the things that the hurt is telling you to do. The pain and the suffering are telling you to go in one direction. Doing the exact opposite will send you in the opposite direction. That is the direction of healing. That is the direction of fixing this, of healing this trauma inside your body, inside and out, feeling like you are in control of your life again. That is the direction that I want you to head in. So don't listen to what the fear and the pain are saying. Okay. They're wrong. Always listen to your love, to the best parts of you, to better angels. Everything that the fear says, do the exact opposite of what it says, and you will probably be on the healing path. Okay? Do everything opposite of what the fear says, and you will probably be on the healing path. Okay? All right. I don't see any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints. Now, if you got comments, if you got questions for me, I will still be around. I'm not going to completely disappear on you. I'm going to be posting, I'm going to be doing the things, but I am welcoming you to message me. Go ahead and send me a DM if you are interested in getting with me for the Big D Challenge. If you need affirmations, if you need the healing path, I am here for you. I will help you with that. Okay. All right, y'all. I think that's about it. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. I hope you have a fabulous holiday season, end of the year, beginning of next year. We are going to be back January 8th. So Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, once more for the Healing Hour Live. I love you and I'm so, so proud of you. Mwah. Happy New Year. Bye.